G'day, guys, and welcome back to Ados the Great YouTube channel. So, in today's video, guys, we're going to be checking out 5 bold predictions for the 2022 NBA season. This is from Hoops Reference. So, yeah, I'm very excited to see what they've got to say about this one. I enjoy looking up bold predictions and stuff because it's always fun to see everybody's predictions. So I'll see what they've got to say, and then I'll sort of put my 2 cents in after everyone else has, I guess. Well, after Hoops Reference has, that is. So let's check it out, guys.
We're about a week into the season, so I realize I'm a bit late with this kind of topic for the video, but there's been so much to talk about that I tried to squeeze in beforehand, and we're still early enough into the year
That's
that
too
what
tight.
we've seen on the court so far hasn't really made anything blatantly clear by any means. As you see in the title of the video, today I'll be making 5 bold predictions for the 2022 NBA season. Being fully transparent, the purpose of bold predictions isn't exactly to be 100% spot on.
That's exactly right. Now, I made a bold prediction video. Check it out if you're interested. At the start of the NBA 2021-2022 season, and my predictions were very bold. Like, I think I had Cade Cunningham to win Rookie of the Year and make the All-Stars team. It's pretty bold. Probably not going to happen. I had the Lakers to uh, miss the playoffs and be a play-in team. Possible. But let's continue.
Accurate with all of them, but they're typically things that probably won't happen, but you think may beat those odds and actually come into fruition. They're supposed to be unlikely and a little bit outlandish, but they're not 100% out of the question either. Before we start, though, it turns out about 49% of you watching right now.
Speaking of, I think like 2.7% of the people that watch my content aren't subscribed. Guys, hit that subscribe button. It'll mean the absolute world to me. You guys that do are amazing. Come on, guys, what are you doing? Slap that red button. It takes 2 seconds, and you don't. I won't even ask you to turn the bell on. You just hit that subscribe button. It'll mean the absolute world to me. Let's keep it going.
Now aren't even subscribed to the channel. So please, if you enjoy the content, consider hitting the subscribe button, as not only does it help out a ton, but I'd also very much appreciate it. Now with that being said, let's begin. The first bold prediction for the 2022 NBA season is that the Portland Trail Blazers will blow it up and start rebuilding by the end of the season.
I mean, okay, I want to let him say what he needs to say, and then I'll talk on this.
It's going to sound like I'm cheating here based on how the Blazers have started the season, but if you've consistently watched my videos in the offseason, you probably knew this one was brewing from me regardless, because there are a lot of terrifying things happening with that franchise. The writing on the wall started around the time that the Olympics were going on when Damian Lillard was outspoken about his desire for the franchise to make big changes to help aid their chance to compete for a title. And instead of listening and being aggressive this offseason, they chose instead to mostly run it back with the same team, plus a few smaller additions around the margins, as they had last year. They were also very meek with their moves, and if anything, I've said several times already that it could be argued that they got worse. You obviously can't overreact to a handful of games to start a season, but the struggles many anticipated are on display, and Lillard's frustration could absolutely boil over if that continues. If Damian Lillard requests a trade and it comes soon, it is over for them, and a rebuild is almost assuredly on the way when that happens.
All right, so my take on that one, I don't think that's that bold of a statement, to be honest. Like, we've seen how the Trailblazers started off this year. They haven't been good, and they're slowly starting to find their feet a little bit. Dame still really isn't playing that well. He's been injured a bit too. CJ's just, I think he's had a collapsed lung or something like that. Like, there's a lot of things going wrong over in Trailblazer country. But apparently they're looking heavily into getting Ben Simmons. And I don't know if I'm going to do a video on what I think the trade package should be, but I see a lot of people doing CJ McCollum, you know, players like Robert Covington and stuff. I don't mind Robert Covington because, he goes over there and sort of gives them the defense that they'd be losing with Ben Simmons. But at the same time, you know, it's hard because my trade package would be Norman Powell, Robert Covington, probably someone like a young piece, like a Nasir Little or something like that. I think Nasir Little's they'd probably trade Nasir over Anthony Simons, but yeah, that'd sort of be my trade package. And the 76ers would probably have to throw in someone that doesn't play. So yeah, that's just my opinion on that one. But let's keep this going. I think that was a pretty good bold prediction, to be honest, because it is kind of where the Trailblazers are going.
The next bold prediction for the 2022 NBA season is that LaMelo Ball will be an all star this year. The goal of the NBA at the end of the day is to entertain the fans, and you would be foolish to ignore the fact that the entertainment value of players plays a big role in how the league rewards them. Branding, interaction, and fan support all have a lot of pull in the NBA. So when all of that comes with a player that is genuinely talented and productive, then it becomes only a matter of time before they skyrocket. This is exactly what's happening with LaMelo Ball in Charlotte. As the Hornets seem to be ready to make a big leap as an overall unit, they play a ridiculously fun brand of basketball, and LaMelo Ball is the one leading the way, stuffing the stat sheet and making viral highlight plays on a regular basis early on. He showed plenty of glimpses of this during his Rookie of the Year campaign last year, and now that he has a year under his belt, the rookie mistakes should be minimized in his game. His shot making will be more efficient this year, his confidence is through the roof, he's genuinely one of the best passers in the league, and he's perfect for an all star game format. So, all of that, combined with the fact that Eastern Conference spots should be more readily available, makes LaMelo an interesting potential all star pick this year.
Okay, so I don't disagree with that. I think LaMelo Ball will definitely be an All Star. I don't see that as that bold of a prediction personally. Um, just because he's more than likely going to be there. He was a Rookie of the Year last year, putting up amazing numbers this year on pretty good efficiency. Um, I wouldn't. I don't think Anthony Edwards will be. Big Timberwolves fan here saying that. I don't think Ant Man will be just yet. Um, he's got to get more consistent. Don't get me wrong. I think he's going to be the basically the player the Timberwolves build around because I think Cat's going to be the future second option. Just my opinion. But yeah, I don't see Ant Man getting a All Star appearance this year, but I do see LaMelo.
The next bold prediction for this season is that the Los Angeles Lakers will trade Russell Westbrook before the trade deadline this season. This will easily be the boldest take in the video because it revolves around the biggest acquisition of the offseason. So I won't be surprised if a lot of you call me crazy for this, but hear me out. The Lakers were incredibly aggressive this offseason with their only focus on getting the appropriate supporting cast around LeBron James and Anthony Davis to get the team back into title contention. They had options and ultimately chose to trade for Russell Westbrook over a player, say, like Buddy Hield, who probably would have been a better fit despite being a worse player in a vacuum. The fit with Russell Westbrook on the Lakers was always weird on paper, and early on it has been weird in actuality. Playing with LeBron James means the ball won't be in your hands as often, and quite simply, Russell Westbrook is not nearly as effective of an off ball player because of his limitations as a shooter. With him, the Lakers have played some pretty poor basketball according to the eye test just watching the games, and in a small sample size, the numbers back that up too, as they are a whopping 31 points per 100 possessions worse with Westbrook on the court. The idea of Westbrook going home and playing where he grew up is great, but the Lakers will do what's best for their team, and we've seen LeBron-led teams do this in the past when they acquired Isaiah Thomas in the offseason, only to trade him that very same season as well.
Okay, so I I kind of disagree with that take. Now, the reason I'm saying kind of is because you don't know what happens in, say, a month or two. They might find themselves in a position where they need to trade Westbrook. He's not putting the numbers up that they were expecting. Sorry, he's not, fitting into that role as well as a lot of people thought he would. So, yeah, I think it's a bit of a strange one there. Definitely a bold prediction because they acquired him. Their plans were to play the season out with Russell Westbrook. So yeah, a bit of a strange one, but yeah, I don't know. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. I don't think Russ gets traded. He's starting to go up, so that's definitely a positive. But guys, I will be right back. I think a parcel's just arrived. Right, guys, we're back. And now that we're back, the parcel will actually arrive. So, no, that was a false alarm. The van door I actually heard was thunder outside. So, that's interesting. But, yeah, we'll continue this just under 3 minutes to go. So, yeah, let's see what they reckon here. So, Celtics playing tournament. Let's hear him out.
Next bold prediction for this season is that the Boston Celtics will struggle and end up in the play-in tournament at the end of the season. The Celtics had an interesting offseason, but I'm not so sure that's a good thing. One of the biggest issues with them last year was how inconsistent the production from the players around Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown were, and this year they replaced some of that inconsistency with arguably even more inconsistency. Their big additions were Al Horford, who hasn't been anywhere close to the player he once was for a few years now, Josh Richardson, who is the king of poor shot selection and questionable decision making, and Dennis Schroeder, who is coming off of a down year in Los Angeles too, and also definitely falls into the category of inconsistent. Tatum and Brown are a brilliant duo, but they can only do so much. For example, they're coming off of a win against the Charlotte Hornets, but Tatum needed to score 41 points and Brown needed to score 30 points in that game just to squeak it out in overtime. And that's just not realistic to expect those two to do on a regular basis. Quite a few teams in the East have improved as well, so the competition will be tougher, so this wouldn't surprise me one bit. And
All right, so yeah, look, it's hard because I don't disagree with this take because from what we've seen from the Celtics this year, one word you could definitely call them is inconsistent. They'll have a good night against the top team, and then the next game will be against like a bottom seed team, and they're terrible. It's just I know they've had injury issues and stuff this year too, so we've kind of got to give them a bit of leeway with that. But as he said, I don't think realistically, you can rely on Tatum and Brown to put up 40 and 30 points. Oh, there goes the fish fighting. Putting up 40 and 30 points respectively to lead this team to a playoffs spot. I think their best, the best that I could see them is probably seventh. And I know a lot of Celtics fans are going to disagree, but it's they got Richardson. Richardson's barely even making the team, I think. Like, it's crazy. They've Schroeder's been pretty good. Like, there's been games where I'm like, he's killing it. But yeah, I don't know. It's tough. It's a tough one. Let me know what you guys think about this one in the comments. Do you think the Boston Celtics will make the playoffs, or will they make the play-in, or not make either? Let me know.
competition will be tougher, so this wouldn't surprise me one bit. And finally, the last bold prediction I have for the season is that Josh Giddey will finish top 2 in the Rookie of the Year voting. I will be the first to admit that I may have overreacted at the time of the draft because I wasn't exactly very high on the Thunder taking Giddey with the 6th overall pick in the draft this year, feeling like it was a bit of a reach. It's still early, but I'm pretty sure that I was way off at the time, and I can admit that from what I've seen already in the preseason and early on in the regular season, that Giddey has it. He's a big point guard with natural playmaking skills. His feel for the game is incredibly advanced for a player at his age coming from overseas, and most importantly, his scoring both inside and out and touch around the basket has exceeded all expectations that I had for him. Plus, in Oklahoma City, he's going to start every game because their youth is their top priority, so he'll have the volume and role to produce well enough to get into the Rookie of the Year conversation. Obviously, the top three picks of Cade Cunningham, Jalen Green, and Evan Mobley are most people's picks for the Rookie of the Year award, but Giddey is a very strong sleeper pick to sneak into the conversation. And with that being said,
All right, so to talk about Josh Giddey, shout out to Giddey, an Aussie hooper. Got to stand by my Aussie hoopers. Look, I don't think Giddey gets Rookie of the Year. I think it's a two-horse race between Scotty Barnes and Evan Mobley. I think Giddey will be maybe in top 5. But yeah, at the moment, I think you've got Evan Mobley and Scotty Barnes. But yeah, guys, this pretty much wraps up this video. I hope you guys have enjoyed this one. Something a little bit different. As I said in my last video, I want to try and give you guys some different reactions, not just all rap and hip hop and all that sort of stuff. I want, some different stuff on the channel. And if you guys have anything you want me to react to, please drop it down in the comments below. Thank you all so much for watching. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe. You guys are amazing, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Thanks, guys.